Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Murdoch Schwarzbär, and today I'd like to give you something to bear in mind. This is my first video, and I'd like to use it to tell you a little bit more about myself, my channel, and what I intend to do with it. First, I'd like to lead you through some of the thought processes that led to the design of the channel. It started with the channel name Bear in Mind, as in giving you something to bear in mind or think about. From there, I turned it into a bear pun and designed the avatar. Black bears are native to where I live. In fact, I see them outside my window every now and again. I also think they're one of the coolest looking types of bear, so there's also that. For the set, I've always wanted to paint an artistic scene on my walls in real life, but I never get around to it. Thus, what I can't do in real life, I do through art. And finally, the character name. You may notice Schwarzbär is German. It is in fact the German word for black bear, keeping with the theme. I was born and raised in Canada, and I don't speak a word of German, as you can probably tell by my butchered pronunciation of the word Schwarzbier. But I do have a German grandfather, so that's where the idea came from. I'm also not what you would call a real doctor, I just have a bachelor's degree in science, but I like the way it rolls off the tongue with the name I've chosen. Dr. Murdoch Schwarzbär. I made this channel because in my real life I enjoy discussing various topics including religion, politics, and science, but I find I don't have a lot of people to discuss them with. And because of that, I thought, hey, why not make a YouTube channel? Might make a good outlet. Because the discussion of these topics in real life can result in some social backlash, I decided I will not use my real name and I'll use an avatar instead of showing my face. This way I can discuss my opinions, rant and rave, and occasionally insult people if I deem it necessary, all with the guaranteed protection of internet anonymity. Oh hey Tim. This is Tim the Disclaimer Squirrel. He's here to keep anyone from taking me too seriously, accepting any bad advice at face value, and to point out when I've said something intentionally false. He can also be a bit of a dick sometimes. I'll admit I'm what you could probably call a skeptic clone. I'll probably make a video on that topic at some point. And indeed I do draw a bit of my inspiration from so-called YouTube skeptics, but I hope I'll be able to at least bring a bit of a different take on things. Tim is a flying squirrel, by the way, insofar as he flies quite nicely when kicked! That's better. Anyway, carrying on. I have a few bits planned for once my channel is up and running, the first of which I'll call Reading Away Brain Cells, fairly standard article review where I read something online and point out its stupidity. Second, there'll be What Did I Just Watch, fairly standard video responses. Then there'll be a bit I'll call Robust Feminist Arguments. I may also insert creationist, flat art, or whatever other ist is relevant. These will be academic article reviews from supposedly credible sources that should know better. And the final bit I have planned, though there may be other ones later, I'll call Feminist Lenses, where I find an argument or response from someone I actually agree with, and try and assume the opposite side, wearing my feminist lenses, as it were. It'll pose an interesting challenge, and may help keep me intellectually honest. I'll try and debunk them using actual logic, reason, and facts, and when that fails, I'll fall back to the canned feminist or whatever other ist talking points they usually use. That's it for this introduction. Thank you very much for taking the time to check out my channel. I'll try and be a bit more comedic and stay a bit more in character next time. I think I'll start by cutting my teeth on a fairly recent article from the Washington Post by a feminist university professor who thinks we should hate all men. This has been the Bear in Mind channel with Dr. Murdoch Schwarzbär, and I hope I've given you something to bear in mind.